Sri Venkateshwaraa College of Engineering and Technology proudly presents Top 20 Under 20 Influencer Awards of 2021. Knowledge partner MIT Square, media partner Suryan FM, Dinamala, the First Step YouTube channel, Pro Week, supported by Rotary Club of Puducherry Beach Town. A very good afternoon to one and all. Recognizing the young talents and to appreciate them for the early achievements, Sri Venkateshwaraa College of Engineering and Technology has initiated Top 20 Under 20 Influencer Award of 2021 from 20 June to 3rd July in association with our knowledge partner MIT Square and media partner Suryan FM Dinamala, the First Step YouTube channel, Pro V 24/7 and supported by Rotary Club of Pondicherry Beach Town. Miss Florence Mulenga was born on the 14th January of 1999 in Lusaka, Zambia. She is currently pursuing her bachelor's degree in pharmacy at the University of Zambia. She was awarded Best Student Startup Idea at FemBioBiz, sponsored by the Southern African Network for Biosciences. Florence Mulenga was awarded as the Young Pharmaceutical Innovator of the Year by the Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia, making her the first student in Zambia to receive such recognition in the year 2020. Her innovation also scooped the National Youth Technological and Medical Innovation Award by the National Youth Development Council in partnership with the Ministry of Higher Education and the Ministry of Youth and Sports of the Government of the Republic of Zambia. Aside from being an advocate for science and innovation under the Zambia National STEM Foundation, Florence Mulenga is an advocate for health and women. And in 2020, she was chosen by the Justina Mutual Foundation to speak during a World Summit focused on celebrating girls across the globe, and she shared this global platform with world leaders. She has been given platform to speak at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women parallel event organized by NAWO to represent young women and the Girl UP United Nations Foundation to host talk shows with powerful women from across the globe, and she was made a judge ambassador for the Hult Prize Lusaka Impact Summit by the Dream Factory and was granted a certificate signed by President Bill Clinton. And now Sri Venkateshwaraa College of Engineering and Technology is proud to present Top 20 Under 20 Influencer Award 2021 to Miss Florence Mulenga. Next, Miss Samira Mehta is a 13-year-old entrepreneur based in Silicon Valley, California, who was recognized by Time as one of the 8 young leaders shaping the decade and a real-life Powerpuff Girl by Hulu for invention Coder Bunnies. Samira is also the founder of Coder Minds, the world's first ever artificial intelligence board game, and Coder Mars, which brings together her love for coding and AI with her interest in outer space and Mars. Mehta is a Gen Z ambassador for ARM with their program. Gen ARM 2Z works with the United Nations for Gender Equality, is a SoftBank Mason Scholar, and was a finalist for the first ever Kid of the Year, presented by Time and Nickelodeon. She was featured on platforms like Vogue, CNBC, CNET, Business Insider, Today's Show, UN Women, and Washington Post for her creation and 500 plus workshop that she has led, which spotlighted her board games through which she has taught over 15,000 kids to code. She has been a speaker at over 100 conferences nationwide and internationally, including at NWC19, C2 Montreal, and corporations like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Intel, SAP, Walmart, and IBM. Her STEM initiative is 1 Billion Kids Can Code, an entrepreneurship academy, BossBiz, are ambitious, but that's not only her only goal. She wants to become president of the United States when she is older, giving her a bigger platform and voice to do what she believes is right for the country. And now, Sri Venkateshwaraa College of Engineering and Technology is proud to present Top 20 Under 20 Influencer Award 2021 to Miss Samira Mehta.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Florence Jedidiah Mulenga, and I am excited to be on this platform. Thank you so much, Mr. Pradeep, and everybody on the team who has made this a possibility for me to be on this platform and share my story and talk about entrepreneurship. I'm grateful. And hello to the audience. It's such an honor to be speaking to you all. So, as I said, my name is Florence Jedidiah Mulenga. First of all, I am a student at the University of Zambia pursuing my bachelor's degree in pharmacy, and I'm at the University of Zambia, which is the highest learning institution in my country, and I'm also an innovator. I came up with a scientific proposal of an anti-asthmatic body spray that could potentially prevent asthmatic patients from going into an asthmatic attack. But of course, it's just on paper, it's just a scientific proposal. Yeah, but then I've won a number of awards for that proposal in my country. I've won multiple awards for it. And I'm also an entrepreneur, and I'm a student. I'm young, just like you. And yeah, I'm just basically delighted to be here. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about what entrepreneurship is. So many people make a mistake of going into entrepreneurship because they think it's just about selling a product and making money out of it. Of course, it is like that. But then if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, then you ought to be a problem solver. So entrepreneurship is basically finding a problem in society and creating a solution for it and making money out of it. So first of all, you need to identify a problem. That's why I really want to link innovation and entrepreneurship at the same time together. So this talk will just basically be called linking linking innovation to entrepreneurship, because these two can go hand in hand depending on how you take the situation. So basically what you're doing is that you are identifying a problem, and once you identify that problem in your society, look around and try to see the problems in your society. What problems are you facing? Are there water problems in your community? Are there electricity problems in your community? Are there shortages of masks? Is there a shortage of sanitizers? Is there a shortage of something? Just try to look at the problems in your community. And once you identify a problem, then you need to identify a solution. So this is where the innovation comes in. You are trying to link innovation to entrepreneurship. So you're trying to come up with a solution that can make money for you, but then also is having an impact on people's lives. So you need to identify that problem and then create that solution in form of an innovation. So once you form your innovation, once you form your solution, it now goes on to you finding out who your target market is. When I say target market, I mean which people or what category of people are going to buy your product. So if let's say if you are providing Okay, I'll give an example of my solution, which was the anti-asthma body spray, but it's not yet developed. It's just a research proposal, but I just want to give an example. So let's say I've designed an anti-asthmatic body spray. My target market will be asthmatic patients, because this is the category of people who are suffering from that problem. So make sure you know your target market. Know who's going to buy your product. Are you offering a digital library? Then it means your target market should be students, So try to identify your target market. And then another thing you want to identify is your market size. How big is your market? How many people are willing to buy your product? How many people are in that university that you are targeting? How many people are in that class that you are trying to reach out to? How many people are in that university or in that community that you're trying to reach out to? Have you created a water solution? How many people need that water solution in your community? So know your target market, know your market size. Another thing you want to know about is your value proposition. When I say value proposition, what I simply mean is that what is unique about your product? You don't want to offer a solution that is not innovative or that is not different from other people. I mean, if you're going to provide me with what can I give an example of? If you're going to provide me with a pencil and my other friend is providing me with a pencil as well, then I might as well buy from my other friend. So what is different about your pencil? Is your pencil sharpened or is it not sharpened? So make sure you add innovative ideas towards whatever you are doing for your business in order to thrive. Look at Facebook. When Facebook was starting, they were probably the only type of social media platform existing at that particular moment, and that's why they've thrived right now, because of their unique value. But then I'll give an example of LinkedIn, or let's say Instagram. When those people came into the market, they were not providing the same solutions as Facebook. They were providing a social media platform that has different features from Facebook. So if you're going to go into the market, make sure you're offering something a little bit different than what is already existing, something people are excited about. So that's what entrepreneurship is about, providing a solution to a problem that is existing in a community, trying to make money out of it. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to make money. It's not a sin. It's not a sin to want to be the next Bill Gates. It's not a sin to want to be the next Oprah Winfrey. I mean, how are you going to change lives without money? So it's okay to desire to want to make money out of your business, but at the same time you must learn to have impact on people's lives. Don't just do business for the sake of doing business. Do business because you want to have an impact on people's lives, and the money will come in later on. So be innovative, be zealous, be excited about what you're doing, and trust me, entrepreneurship is not easy, but if you have the drive, if you have the zeal, trust me, you can conquer anything. Because at this young age, you're probably thinking, I'm too young to do this, I'm probably not gonna do it. Trust me, this same age is the age that you need to thrive. This is the age that you can even be the most zealous and have the most amazing ideas. Never be afraid, and don't let anybody put you down. You need to go for your dreams and just be the best person you can be, and just keep fighting. Have a fighting spirit and have an attitude to want to achieve big things at a very young age, because this is the age whereby when you create something, everybody will be amazed about it because of your age. Being young is not a disadvantage, it's actually an advantage for you to want to thrive, to want to actually do greater things in society. So never be discouraged, just go ahead and do what you love doing. And once you do what you're passionate about, trust me, you are off to changing the world and having positive impact on people's lives. So yeah, basically that's about it. But of course, I'd like to add on a few things, because apparently I still have time, because it's like 8 minutes now. So I think I still have a few minutes to actually share some more things, some more tips with you. So feel free to actually feel free to participate in innovative competitions, especially innovative competitions that involve combining innovation with entrepreneurship. Go ahead and participate in such competitions. In fact, these competitions have been encouraging young people to actually take part and take charge. So don't be afraid to participate in such things. First of all, such things give you an opportunity to be funded for your business idea, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to carry out a business, you might need funding. So make sure you do participate in such competitions. But then again, there's some times when you actually don't even need funding. What you just need is your mind and a team. So this takes me to the part of the team. You can't work alone. Nobody works alone. So always make sure you have a team so that you can divide responsibilities in that team. When you're coming up with a business idea, make sure you have a team that is as passionate and as zealous as you are, even as you are trying to make your solution work. So make sure you have a very passionate and zealous team. It can even be a team of about 5 people, or even 4 or 3. It really doesn't matter. But just have people who are as passionate and as zealous as you are. And another thing you want to look into is your competitors. So when you're starting a business, look at who exactly is your competition. You know, if I'm going to start selling pencils today, who is my competition? My competition is obviously the person manufacturing pencils, or the retail shops that are already selling pencils. So what unique value am I adding? So obviously I'm going to start selling sharpened pencils, because these sharpened pencils, no one is selling sharpened pencils on the market. Then I'll be the first one. It's just an example. I'm sure there are already people who are selling sharpened pencils, but that's just to show you that you just need to be creative and innovative in whatever you are doing. So try to always combine innovation with entrepreneurship, and trust me, you'll be solving the world's biggest problems. So all I can advise you guys is that never be afraid to go for your dreams, and never be afraid to push and fight and reach to the end. Trust me, you're never too young to achieve these goals. You can do anything you set your mind to. Nothing is difficult. So long as you've told yourself that you can do it, and you are going to do it. Thank you so much for hosting me on this show. I hope to see you guys soon again. But for now, I guess it's bye. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the sharing that I had for you. And all the best. Enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you so much, Mr. Pradeep, and everybody who has invited me to this program, and your whole team. Thank you very much for the recognition, and thank you for offering me this platform. Bye.
whenever we forget it or can't find it. But did you know that the current toasters are more powerful than the technology used in the first moon landing? And now think of how that compares to your phone. Some say that the current iPhone is almost 1,000,000 times more powerful than that used in the first moon landing. However, technology is not the future. People are the future. Young kids like me are the future. But do you know what the most important thing will be in the future? To learn to code. And that's why I am committed towards seeing each and every child in the world learn computer programming so they can participate in creating a better future. So how did I get introduced to coding? Well, one day, my dad did a prank on me. He showed me something on his computer, which had one button and a command, which said, "Press this if you're beautiful." He told me to give it a try, but when my mouse pointer touched the "You are beautiful" command, it just disappeared. And I was like, how did you do that? Am I not beautiful? What's going on here? My dad told me he used something called coding to create this, and that got me really excited about coding because I wanted to prank my friends in a similar way. Now at the time, I always also loved board games, but I thought, if I can't bring a physical board game onto a computer coding screen, why not bring the computer coding onto a board game? And now, as easy as creating a board game may sound, it was not a piece of cake. When I first presented the idea to my parents, they were like, "You're 6, what would you know about coding, and better yet, creating board games?" But this was something I really want to do. So my parents said they'd let me do it if I did some research on it first. I did some research, and I found out that creating a board game involved coming up with an idea, creating rough sketches, playtesting, prototyping, and eventually getting into mass production. This time, when I told my parents this, they were like, "Okay, you know what you're talking about." From there, they supported me the entire way. Whether it was getting in contact with graphic designers or driving back and forth to print out new rough sketches or new copies, they were always there for me. And from there, Coder Bunnies, the most comprehensive coding board game ever, was created. So now with Coder Bunnies, I had a few, maybe 3 or 4 prototypes in hand, and I started playing with people like my brother and some of my friends. And I thought, this is really fun, but I want to teach even more kids. My mom suggested that I could start doing workshops. Now at the time, I was around 7 years old, and I thought workshops were these things where you go to places like factories or shops where you build things out of wood. Now, even though that may have been correct, the workshops my mom was talking about were the ones where you go to places like libraries or schools and you teach other kids about something that you're good at. And that's exactly what I want to do. So, I went to a few of the close by libraries in my area, and they were all like, "We already have online coding programs," or "Why don't you come back next year?" And a few libraries told me this, and I thought maybe my game isn't that good. But I didn't give up. I went to a few more libraries until one of the biggest libraries in my area, the Santa Clara Central Library, they loved the idea. We started doing workshops right away. From there, I've done hundreds of workshops, teaching thousands of kids at places like libraries, schools, tech events, communities, and corporations like Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Intel, and many others. Now, along this way, parents started asking me where they could buy the game. Now, this was something I was just doing for fun, and remember, I just had 4 or 5 prototypes in hand, and I was just doing this to get other kids excited about coding. But a lot of parents started asking me, how they wanted to buy the game and how they truly believed that their child could benefit from it. And I thought, maybe it was time to get into mass production. From there, we started selling on Amazon, and within a year, Coder Bunnies trended at #1 out of all of the board games on Amazon. This showed me how much impact my work can make in the community, and it motivated me to work even harder. Now, as I was going and growing in this process, I learned that there are very few girls in the STEM and computer science field. In fact, girls and women are only represented around 24%, while men are represented a little over 70%. Now, I thought, this isn't right, but now that I look back in my journey and I see, just like me when I was 5, a lot of girls like dolls and princesses. This coincidentally is the age where girls start to lose interest in math and science. People think maybe girls just aren't made for it. That's just the way it is. However, recently a test was taken across 65 countries in the world. Girls and boys were tested on the same science test. Overall, girls outsmarted boys, but not in the US. So people think maybe it's not a biological thing, but it's a cultural thing, the way we grew up. The girls' toil is another perfect example because from a very young age, girls are taught to like princesses and be them. But it does not have to be that way. Girls can be as smart as boys, even in the engineering field. And for that reason, I have started doing workshops for girls only, with the goal of helping more and more girls get excited and involved in STEM and computer science. My goal with this is to motivate girls that no matter their age or their gender, they can pursue computer science just like boys. And I'm seeing from these workshops, so many girls are coming up to me and they're telling me, how much they want to join their school STEM or robotics clubs, but they're too scared to because it's mainly boys. But once again, I'm trying to remind girls that this is a field they're welcome in as well. It's definitely not something just for boys. I've been fortunate enough to receive national and international recognition, but I believe I am still a normal kid. With school, homework, extracurricular activities, and more. But I choose to invest time in doing workshops towards my goal of helping 1 billion kids in the world gain access to STEM and coding tools. And this is with my initiative, Yes, 1 Billion Kids Can Code. With Yes, 1 Billion Kids Can Code, my goal, as mentioned, help 1 billion kids in the world to gain access to STEM and coding tools. Because I believe that computer science and coding is a tool very important for our coming generation. And even if all students don't choose to become professional coders when they grow, I believe that a basic coding understanding will make them better thinkers, leaders, creators, and dreamers of this next generation. So how am I making this goal possible? Well, as mentioned in previous slides, I have definitely been doing workshops at so many places with the goal of helping more and more kids get introduced to computer science. And not only have I been holding these workshops, I've been training people to hold their own workshops in their own communities and in their own schools. And some people have just been buying the game themselves and been holding their own workshops, supporting some of my goals and missions. Another way I'm making this goal possible is by partnering with companies like Facebook, Google, SAP, Intel, and many others. And with these, what I'm doing is I'm working with them to donate these Coder Bunnies games to the underprivileged libraries and schools across the world, so that even the most underprivileged and rural communities can have access to these coding tools. I'm also been partnering with organizations in places like Africa so that they can start their own communities, their own clubs, and their own regular workshops where they play a new level of the game each time or something like that. I've come so far, but I haven't stopped there. Last summer, I came across a slight problem, and I thought, a board game once again would be the solution to that. Last summer, what I came across was that a lot of people are talking about AI. And the fact was that my dad worked in AI as well at that time, and he came home from work one day and he was telling me and my brother how cool it was. He got to design sort of like the behind the scenes of the drones and the self-driving cars. And that was when my brother asked, you've told us so much about this AI thing, but what really is it? And that got me thinking. I don't even know what AI is myself. So after getting some tips and trainings from my dad, I decided, maybe a lot of the kids might face the same problem. They might be hearing so much about AI, but they might not know what exactly is it. So I decided to take the major concepts of AI, as well as computer programming, and put them into the world's first ever artificial intelligence-based board game. And from there, Coder Minds was created. And I've also started a little initiative called Cookies with Coder Bunnies, where I interview people like people who start AI startups or who's revolutionized the world of coding, to hardware gurus, to meditation gurus, to librarians, tech leaders, or basically just anybody who's making an impact in our community today, so that kids like me can learn from their creative ways of solving problems and basically changing the world. I've also been fortunate enough to get the chance to speak at over 50 conferences, nationally and internationally. I believe these conferences are like a platform for me to reach out to so many more amazing people, and I've seen that so many of them have started to get involved with some of my goals and missions, such as Yes 1 Billion Kids Can Code, bringing more girls into tech, workshops, Cookies with Coder Bunnies, or basically just anywhere else. But I've done so much work, nationally and internationally, but I haven't forgotten my own community. For the past 2 summers, last summer and this summer, I have been holding lemonade stands outside my house. The money that I've been earning have been going back into helping the homeless. Last year and this year, I've raised an average of a little over $200 in just 2 hours in a small, quiet community. And as I said, the money goes into helping the homeless because homelessness is a topic very close to my heart, and I believe that everybody deserves a safe place they can call home. So you must be wondering, how did I get this far? There need to have been some people who helped me, and there definitely were. My parents made a huge impact in who I am today. They've supported me, they've guided me, even on the craziest ideas. They've always been there for me. But I believe mentors may play a huge role in our lives as well. Lauren Wilson is a 6th grade school teacher, and he is my mentor. Just like any good mentor, he is like a flashlight that guides me through a dark tunnel. Mentors are the people who let you see the hope in yourself. Just like any good mentor, Lauren helped me develop in my own personal strengths, beliefs, and personal attributes. As Benjamin Franklin once said, "Tell me, and I forget. Teach me, I may remember. Involve me, and I learn." So through my mentor and all mentors' way of teaching and guiding, it can really take us kids to a whole nother level. But I believe that you all have superpowers within yourself that can help you create the next disruptor. I believe that one of the most important superpowers that we have within ourselves is the power of failure. You can provide us kids with an environment where we feel comfortable taking risks and failing. You can see if we're having any problems with schoolwork or any other personal problems, and you can be literal lifesavers during this time by bringing comfort and assistance to us during these tough circumstances. This way we know there's someone to guide and protect us no matter what. Anyhow, without failure, there is no learning, stretching, or growing. As the famous Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed. I have just found 1,000 ways it won't work." So if you see a kid failing, make sure to let them know that we are only learning and growing, becoming better versions of ourselves, because every no is one step closer to a yes. Another superpower that I believe you all have is to really power of hope. You can, just by simply believing in us, you can help us accomplish so much. Because when you believe you can, you're already halfway there. So by just simply providing us with the love and the support to do whatever we dream of, you can help build the next disruptor. And finally, another superpower I believe that you all have is the power to see through our lives. You can see where our passions, creativity, strengths, interests, struggles, where it all lies. And once you see that passion in us, by believing in us and supporting us, even on the craziest ideas, that will make us kids the next disruptor. However, while you are trying to build the next disruptor, it is very important that you take care of yourself. Here today, we stand in each other's futures. You give us kids the power and hope to do anything we dream of. But it starts with you taking the first step. And that first step is taking care of yourself. Here on the screen, I have a few ways and ideas on how you can do so. But remember, you are your first priority. By taking care of yourself, you can take care of us. When you are energetic, persistent, have passion, and are wholehearted towards helping us kids, we feel those positive vibes. And we know that you've put your whole heart into helping us build the next disruptor. I believe my journey has only started, but I feel like I've already gotten so far. One of the main things that I have learned in this entire process is to follow your imagination, not other people's limitations. I've learned that people will limit you in life. They'll say you can do this, but you can't do that, but you can do this. But I believe those are all just voices. Follow your imaginations, the people who guide you in the right directions. Your teachers, mentors, parents, all of those. I think that is really important towards, being and building the next disruptor. And another one is time expands to accommodate in all of your passions and priorities. A lot of people ask me how I manage with school, homework, extracurricular activities, and on top of all of that, running a business. But I believe, this is something I'm really passionate towards. And if you're passionate towards something, that time will expand to accommodate in all of your passions and all of your priorities. Another one is don't worry about failure. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. There's so many times I look back in my journey and I feel if I had just stopped when the libraries had originally told me to just come back next year, or, we already have the online coding programs, I wouldn't have, to this day, gotten the chance to teach thousands of kids across the world. So instead of worrying about the outcome, which may be failure or success, worry about the experience and the chances that you may have missed if you don't even try in the first place. Finally, dreams don't work unless you do. It starts with a dream. A very big dream. However, to achieve that dream, you're going to have to work hard, countless amount of hours hard. Hard work cannot be avoided when wanting to achieve something greater. Our world has many needs and dreams that some say are impossible. Maybe you have an impossible dream. I hope you have caught my vision and passion towards bringing coding to every child in the world. I know my dreams and initiatives are bigger than just me. But it starts by taking the first step, followed by the willingness and mindset to carry it out. I believe we all can create things, innovate, build companies, and lead the world. It's all up to our minds when it comes to breaking barriers, our willingness and mindset. Both possible and impossible begin with you and me. What impossible dream do you have? Join me in creating the world and future, not bound or determined by the word impossible. Thank you.
Each of you made this day very special and a memorable one. A great thanks for everyone who were present here. I request all the participants to join our day 4 of this award series tomorrow at 4 pm through Zoom and live streaming on our YouTube channel SVCET Puducherry. To get more updates of events, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.